Seems like this is the way to go. Help that person. Why not? Whatever they're using is cool. That was cool. Alright. Mud crabs. Here we are. Explosives. Diffuse. So Ina exploded the entrances, or the main exits, I guess you could call them exits, to her tunnels here to save Dragon Bridge. Which makes sense because without Dragon Bridge she wouldn't need them, per se. Oh, books. Things my great...
How dare you interfere? You will fall just as easily as the bridge above.
No. I mean, on one hand, I totally understand, like, they've just been... Like, not I understand, but I get the point of view of a Reachman, because their home, they've just been, like, colonized. Well, Solitude is and is not in the area, but it's, I mean, it's their home, and it's been taken over. This book is called Junal the Rune God. It is impossible to discount the wisdom and power of Junal. We in Skyrim are often seen by the rest of Tamriel as drunken oafs or barbarians with little thoughts in their minds, other than an eagerness for battle. Most forget that their ego Julianos was forced a Nord god, one that valued wisdom, intelligence, and the pursuit of knowledge above all else. We true Nords have not forgotten Junal. There are still those among us that enjoy scholarly pursuits and the broadening of our minds. Perhaps we are but a token few these days, but hope is not lost. Nords must remember that they are called to a higher purpose than the brandishing of swords. We should be pursuing matters that enrich our lives, not risk them. Things such as scholarship, history, reading, and invention. If you turn up your nose while reading this, take comfort in knowing that you are not alone. There are many Nords who feel the same way. Junal wavers in favor because of a foolish notion that the pursuit of knowledge is somehow beneath us, that anything that doesn't make us stronger or display our courage for everyone to see is worthless. But I beseech you to abandon these notions. They have been learned, which means that they can be unlearned. We need not do away with our strength as warriors in order to bolster our minds. In fact, doing both in conjunction can only improve both aspects of our being. To be an excellent warrior, you must also have a strong mind and the knowledge to carry you through battle. Wouldn't you agree? If the importance of learning is not enough to entice you, let that be motivation instead. Junal is still ours, and Skyrim is still a land of warriors who are enriched by knowledge as well as combat. Do not turn up your nose at such pursuits. If we turn a blind eye to Junal and his teachings, then we are doomed as a people. That was interesting. I didn't actually know that. I've only ever heard of a couple of the, like, pre-divines. I mean, like, you could say Kyne, the Kinnereth, Shore, I think, was one of them, right? I'm not 100% sure. I think Shore could be called someone else or them at the same time. I think that he has a more complicated history. Chest. So, I think that doing the Legerdemain stuff would be useful just because we could be able to get the unlock the chests quicker, which I would like, or like have more time. I think it's more time. Sorry, barking dogs. They're so loud. Oh my goodness. You can select multiple items to deconstruct at once at a crafting station. So yeah, we can deconstruct stuff or we can destroy them. I just have been destroying the plain things because they're not really... like, they're useful, but they're not super important. I was mainly keeping them for selling purposes.
Day. And yours? The same.
Captain Ingrid.
It's good to see you, my friend. I feared the worst when the Richmond started pouring out of the cave. Since you're here and the bridge is still standing, I assume your mission was a success?
Yes, the bridge is safe now.
Excellent. Hopefully after all this trouble we can convince Solitude to make our lives a little easier.
I hope so.
Thank you, friend. Your actions likely saved the Western Holds. I promise you, your triumph will not go unsung.
Thank you. And we got a shield called the Dragon Bridge Bastion.
An intricate plot by the Richmond. This doesn't bode well for Western Skyrim. I need to warn Solitude. After this, they have to provide the support we were promised long ago. For their own sake, if not for ours.
Frostcloak can now be morphed. Do you think that Solitude will finally provide the supplies you need?
They better.
Bit close, sorry.
What happened here will be hard to ignore. They might not tell stories of your bravery, but I think they'll send us what we need. And for the rest, we have Ina.
Are you worried about working with that smuggler again?
No. I think this whole ordeal taught her a valuable lesson. Gods. At least I hope it did. Besides, she loves Dragon Bridge as much as I do. She's part of our community.
I agree.
And I always make use of every resource at my disposal. Now, thanks again.
Happy to help. Stay safe.
Everyone alright? Did we lose him? Ulang's arm. I told him not to.
No.
I'm fine, Ina.
Oh.
Really.
We'll get him healed up. Don't worry.
They're worried about him.
Never trust a Reachman. That's what I always say. Or, at least that's what I say now. I swear to you, this won't happen again. I'll deal with more trustworthy sources from now on. And thank you for saving Uling. I'd be lost without the old oaf.
So you're done dealing with the Reach?
Don't worry. I
didn't know that she was explicitly dealing with the
Provided
Reach,
Captain
but
Ingrid doesn't skin me alive with this,
she was being
I plan
raided.
to make all future transactions through legitimate sources only.
Good.
I'm not eager to end up in this kind of mess again.
Good. How about you, Ulang?
You'd think the Reachman took my arm clean off, rather than just grazed it with the way Ina frets. She's a good woman. Thanks for making sure I got to see her again.
Do you plan to stay in the smuggling and black market business?
I guess it depends if the garrison needs us or not. Ina and the captain have a good thing going here. They may bicker like old maids. Relationships that work are hard to find in this business. Don't think we're ready to give that up just yet.
I think that's really sweet. Just everything that's going on there. I think it's sweet, Dragon Bridge. Dragon Bridge is really a place that you don't interact with much in Skyrim. You really only interact with it on, I want to say, 2 occasions, which is the Civil War and the Dark Brotherhood quests line. Which is just briefly, you meet a character that's stationed at the garrison here, and you either assassinate him or report the Brotherhood. And then the other one is you find, you steal some papers from a smuggler in the inn. Or I think, like, this is one of those places that you can catch him, but you can catch him, like, anywhere in Skyrim. Hopefully sticking by the road will mean that we don't run into beasties. Oh.
Please, can anybody help us?
Hello?
Oh, thank Meridia. The priests and pilgrims of Kiltrick Temple. We need assistance. A great and terrible storm struck, and so many of us were lost.
What's Kilcrease Temple? I know what
A
it is, but
temple
let's ask.
dedicated to Meridia, the Lady of Light.
Okay, who's Priest Bavian?
She's the ranking priest.
I don't know if
after
I said
High
that
Priest
correctly.
Barkul. But we haven't seen the High Priest since the storm hit.
Mm.
Bavian led a group of us to safety. There are more priests and pilgrims out there. If you're willing to help, please talk to Bavian.
Bavian, okay. I'll talk to Priest Bavian. Let's do that. Meridia's Brilliance. So, it's this way. Is that it? Okay, I was just saying, let's not go off the path so we don't run into beasties. And look, there's a bear. We're just gonna leg it. Just a bit. Because I don't want to fight a bear right now. Or a Harrow Fiend? What is that? Ooh, it's very strong. In comparison to what we've been dealing with. Maple bow, not very useful. Animal companions is increased to 9. So soul magic is morphable. Soul trap. And so is frost cloak. Like I said, we're just gonna do our passives. What is that? Oh no. Luckily for us, we can't actually contact Vampirism in this game. Because it's a DLC, I believe. Or you can just pay to be infected. I could be wrong. I am like 50% sure that it's a DLC thing. Like an extra purchase. I could be wrong. But like in Skyrim, the game, like Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, you would just fight any random vampire and they'd use this spell on you and it'd just turn you into a vampire. You'd contract the vampire disease and then you'd be like, everything is over. Let's get rid of these. Just not really useful. This is kind of silly. Because to cure yourself of this... Well, you could cure yourself before the disease mutated. You had, like, I think 3 in-game days. While it, like, took its, like, it started to start working. Take its toll on you. But then you had to do, like, this really elaborate cure in the base game. You had to meet this dude in the middle of the night in the woods. And you'd have to have, like, some special filled soul gem with a human soul in it. And it was just kind of really elaborate, which made sense, but it made it really bothersome to deal with vampires. And then they released... let's just keep looking. Then they released the Dawnguard DLC. See, I started playing Skyrim before they released... I started playing it pretty much on release. And this was before they had the DLCs, because it came quite a bit after. And it kind of just improved all of the functions relating to... We're not supposed to actually be here yet. This is where we come in later. I got lost. Okay. So, it changed how vampirism worked and it added like a new form, which was really cool. But it made like the base game seem like so much less interesting with the vampirism. Because there's werewolves, and the werewolves, they had like this whole form and a skill tree. I think it had the skill tree in the base game. I think it got extended by the DLC. I could be wrong. But yeah, and there's the whole quest line of vampires in the DLC for Skyrim. So it was really cool. And it's kind of cool that we're circling back to the whole thing with these DLCs about vampires in Skyrim. So let's talk to Priest Bavian.
Another pilgrim seeking shelter from a storm? No, you don't appear to be a pilgrim. What brings you here?
I met a priest outside. He said that you needed some assistance.
Even in our darkest hour, Meridia provides a light. We were on our way to see High Priest Varkor when the storm hit. I've never seen such power. It raged like a thing alive. I gathered who I could, but the others
Oh,
were still...
I know what it is. It's those really big storm things. Okay, I know what she's talking about. Where do you want me to look?
Start at the stables to the northwest.
Got
I
it.
saw Acolyte Yold, Priest Irena, and Roligmoth the Pilgrim seek shelter there. If you find them, send them back here.
Will do.
After that, meet me at the Pilgrim's Lodge to the west of the temple.
Sounds good. I'll look for the people you mentioned at the stables.
Look for Yold, Direna, and Roligmoth at the stables. Then meet me at the Pilgrim's Lodge. I will head there after I finish caring for these injured souls. Meridia's light shine upon you, good friend.
Tell me about Kilcreath Temple.
Kilcreath Temple provides a safe haven for the priests and pilgrims of Meridia. At least it did, before this terrible storm struck. The Lady of Light has always protected us. Why today should be different, I don't understand.
I think it might have something to do with vampires being undead, and Meridia despises the undead. Are you in charge of the temple?
No, that honor goes to our High Priest Varkor. I am but her humble assistant. She is my mentor and my friend. After you find the others, I'll meet you at the Pilgrim's Lodge, and we can search for the High Priest together.
Got it. Can you tell me about the storm that you experienced?
We were on our way to the temple for prayers when an oily black ichor roiled in the sky. The wind picked up and red streaks of lightning struck all around us. We barely made it to the
Those
safety
are
of this
intense.
cave. The storm abated. Then the sounds started.
What sounds?
Groans, shrieks, blood-curdling screams. It sounded like wild and feral beasts followed in the wake of the storm. I
They
sent
did.
Priest Isofnir outside to keep watch, but I told him not to take any unnecessary risks. We're priests, not soldiers, after all.
Okay. Let's just pop over. See if we can bypass. No, they saw me. Did they see me? Okay, they saw me. Whoa. Alright. Okay, let's find him, I guess. If it's just searching. We can look in there. Let's look out here. Hello? Priest Irena. Priest's eyes stare blankly and she doesn't respond to your greeting. I don't like this. Stable Master's house? Let's go in.
Why has Meridia forsaken me?
I was like, what is this? Oh, that makes sense. Stew. Oh, we're full! Like I said, main thing is gonna be provisioning. So, we do not need lightning staff or ice staff. Or, yeah, let's just get rid of the staves. We can keep the bow? No, we don't need the bow. Head, chest, shoulders, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I don't know when it started playing in my head. I know how to sing that in Japanese. It's like one of the first things my teacher taught us. Let's get rid of the clothier, blacksmith, and woodworking items that we have right now. I think those items are pretty easy to replace, like wood and such. But all of these, we have some materials for crafting, but we have a lot of provisioning, some furnishing. We don't really need the furnishing, actually. So I think alchemy Alchemy, we'll keep. Alchemy, materials, and provisioning for now. Just because there's so much that we can have. For provisioning, there's so many different items. It becomes hard to not, like, just have one hobby type thing. I don't know if hobby's the right word. Specialization, skill, talent. Hobby is a decent word. Why are there carrots in that cupboard? Style material. Okay, why didn't it just tell me how to block? Acolyte Yolt?
High Priest Vakor will find me. Meridia will save me. When things are darkest, her light shines the way. Please don't eat me.
I won't eat you. Priest Bavian sent me here. I'm here to help.
Priest Bavian? Where's High Priest Vakor? Did those horrible creatures get her? We hid in the stables, but then Priest Arena changed. That's when I ran in
I
here.
thought she was off. Go meet Priest Bavian and the others in that cave to the southeast. I hope you know what we're talking about. I'll check on Priest Arena. You get out of here. Oh, I think we have this recipe. Okay, we do already have this recipe. So, not as useful as Wood of Light. This is a nice blueprint, though. Blueprint for a Solitude rustic large table. And some more crafting. Lockpick, always useful. Blueprint for a round Solitude nightstand and bone. Alchemy bottle with some natural water. Covered with why are there vegetables in their cupboards here? Yes, lockpicking. It's satisfying. I'm not like the best at it, obviously, but it's satisfying to do. Come on, there we go. Yay. Gold and a necklace of reduced spell cost. Alright, let's use those blueprints. There we go. Learned how to make 2 new recipes. Awesome. Pretty much searched everything here. I love that you can see, like, it's open once you look through it. Chef's kiss. Ooh, absolute chef's kiss. Oh no. The pilgrim. Meridia medallion. A symbol of dedication to Meridia, often carried by her followers. You killed him.